Hello, welcome to the Well of Being. This is Melissa, intuitive healer, guide, and channel. Welcome to my three-part series on light language. This first video is an introduction. If you've tuned in to any of the videos that are here on the Well of Being channel, you have experienced light language. Light language is a way of tuning in to the frequencies that are all around us. So there are these healing energies, there is wisdom, there is messages, it comes across timelines, it crosses dimensions. So there are these beautiful beings that are here to support us, that are sharing this information. And as humans, we are these conductive vehicles that have the ability to be able to both receive and transceive these messages. So I'm going to speak into a little of how I opened into light language for myself. Back in 2009, I began an energy practice, an intensive energy healing practice in Qigong. And the moment I started opening into this energy practice, all these different frequencies started wanting to be vocalized through me when I was in deep level practice. Now, for me, being a Western trained physician, having done very little energy work and really just beginning to wake up that there's even a connection between our mind and our body, it was a bit shocking to be like, I was like cool with it because obviously my spirit was like, yeah, she's finally open. There's so much we want to share. But at the same time, I didn't have a foundation for understanding what I was experiencing. My teacher at the time, I actually am super grateful because he did not encourage me to focus on what was coming through, to just allow it to do its thing. So basically from 2009 until 2022, I really didn't have any guidance from within or beyond to do anything except just allow myself to be with these frequencies. In that time frame, until 2022, I would just allow it to flow through. I would just allow it to flow through. And it sounded all different kinds of ways. I wouldn't judge it. I wouldn't interpret it. And in fact, I think that's part of why I'm such an open vehicle. I'm just like, okay, let's let it all in. Let's play with this. It felt good. So that was part of the reason why I kept letting it in. I knew it was supporting me in some way. But I did not have direct visuals or direct connection to the frequencies that were being shared. I just knew it felt good and it was flowing. So this is my own process. So in that whole time frame, I was continuing to up-level my own body, mind, spirit alignment and went through a massive transition that really began in February of 2022 when I really cracked open from, I shifted out of my Qigong practice, of acupuncture, of teaching classes around Qigong. I really opened all of that up, which created a large amount of space and possibility. And I really just heard, just open up and align to the space. Open up and align to the space. And first thing that happened was all this. But actually around the same time, I took a trip. And it was the first time I'd ever taken a road trip by myself. And I found myself directly channeling and speaking light language continuously for about 7 days. Almost, I think, hundreds of hours of these direct communications that were pouring through me. And I realized it maybe I was like half an hour into my trip. I'm like, oh, this is new. And again, it was this beautiful place of I just giddy up, let's just flow with this. So it was a new place for me where I was really able to see the messages that wanted to come through and then allow those messages to come through. And it usually was interwoven with direct light language, or there would be a whole beautiful direct channeled English offering from many different beings, and then there would be light language at the end. So this is just sharing with you the evolution. I'm not saying that this is the way it happens for everybody. This is how I experienced it. And then as that was May of 2022, and then moving forward, it really wasn't until March of 2023 that I was really called to begin sharing this gift with the world. And it was baby steps at that time. And that leads to January of 2024 when Spirit was like, all right, girl. So you can see, like, when I look at it and share this with you over time, that there was this whole evolutionary buildup that was really preparing me, because we are the vehicles for connecting into the light language and for sharing the light language. Each of us are incredibly, infinitely unique in our alignment, spirit to mind to body. So there was a lot of work that this girl had to do on herself, a lot of changes that had to shift within my life for me to evolve to the place where I am now, where it's like, this is a second language and I can connect into it at any given time. So that gives you a vision into my personal experience with how I opened into it. And I can speak to that experience in that, like, I am so grateful that in 2009, when my mind could have really shut things down, when I was first coming through and I was like, what? There was a part of my mind that could have gotten over analyzing and overthinking and probably would have shut down the flow, and I never would have evolved to the place where I'm at now in January of 2024. The other piece that I want to share with that is that there is no one way this comes forth for any of us. So because we are these unique, multidimensional beings, for some of us, you may have heard, like, there are individuals who there is one being that channels through them. For some of us, it's like super crystal clear which beings are coming through. And for me, it's kind of like all over the place. So sometimes it's very clear and sometimes it's not. And most of the time, it's more than one voice coming through. And I'm like, it's all right. I'm a party, and let's bring everyone to the party, as long as we can agree that we're going to create a channeled message that will be supportive and not too all over the place. That's my only kind of inner aligned important goal with how I bring the energy through, is that I can feel like, all right, there's all of these messages, and it isn't that I set an intention. I sometimes will hear one, sometimes it just shoots in, but I can feel that there's a focus that in my embodiment, because even though I am so expansive, I am very rooted and grounded and earthy. So I bring both of those together, which is supportive. So I'm sure you've heard other people bring through light language, and you may experience it in different ways depending on how galactic they are. I'm both. I am galactic and cosmic, and I'm very much in this body. That's how I've chosen to do it. So when I bring forth light language, it's going to have a different feeling than it may be from other people who bring it forth. Not judging one way or the other. There's no wrong way to do this. The other thing is, so light language is not just about the spoken word. That is a huge piece of it. But it is also about, there's visual. So all the pieces that I created in the space of well-being are, in a way, they're light language. They're direct downloads and channels. I was showed how to create the different pieces. I was shown what pieces that I had to bring together. And this whole space is constantly evolving, because every piece in the space is interacting and is interconnected energetically, and is creating all different types of channels and messages depending on how you're tuning in and aligning in the moment where your energy's at, and as you visually connect into this space. So this is light language. That's long story short. So through the visual arts, physical movement. So you may see within these videos that I often move when I am on video. I'm moving when I'm doing the audio channeling. I am very expressive and connected in that way. So my light language is also expressed through my physical form in that way. There also is the space in between. So even now, when I am speaking words in this clear way and relaying a message, it doesn't feel like I'm channeling, but I am. So there is frequency, vibration, and messages that are brought forth through the messages I share and all the different ways that I share them that are light language. So each and every one of you have the ability to tap into this powerful gift. And we're going to dive more into that in our next 2 videos. Blessings.